Hey, let's just get started. Three students injured when California high school teacher fires gun during safety course. So, to answer your questions, if teachers need guns, I don't think it's a good idea, especially if they don't know what the hell they doing anyway. It is one is going to give teachers a reason to use it if they want to anyway. And the fact that a teacher would want to bring a gun to the school, even if they're allowed to, kind of says something about them a little bit. To a point, like I understand the influx of these school shootings, and you want to protect yourself, but that's what security is for. All right, you just like bulk up you just change up your budget a little bit, buy some more security. That's about it. But it's not going to stop someone from bringing a gun to school. All right, you just got, and teachers didn't go to school to try to basically be fucking wardens in a prison. So school already feels like a prison, so it's not going to help having these some of these teachers be crazy having guns to their disposal. There's a lot of jokes going around. Like I saw somebody post a picture. It was a Photoshop picture of a Call of Duty poster, right? It was a Call of Duty math teacher or something like that. It was like well, no, it wasn't. It was that's the one I can only think of. It was somebody else, math teacher, but you get the point. You got teachers wearing full riot gear to school and shit. But anyway, this article says 3 students injured when California high school teachers fires gun during a safety course, right? 3 students at a Central California high school was injured Tuesday when a teacher fired a gun into a classroom during a firearms safety class, according to police and local reports. I'm reading this off of NBC News. Like, I saw this on Google News as well. I saved it and I forgot. And right before I started recording, because I was supposed to have a guest on the show, and I forgot about it. I guess Dennis Alexander discharged not just any fucking gun. It was a semi-automatic handgun, right? Why couldn't you just get like a regular fucking pea shooter ass gun? Like, I got a Denali. That's like, I want to say that's like the minimum you will need. Like, you can show someone how to use a pistol with using that little tiny thing, right? Like, I bought it, and I bought that one because I didn't have much money, and it was the cheapest thing out there. But hey, I bought it, and it was supposed to just basically for defense. That's all this was for. It's for the house. That's the only thing you need to show these kids. Like, why are you showing these kids semi-automatic guns, man? Even if it is still a handgun, but still, goddamn. Then continuing, 3 teens attending Seaside High School were hurt by debris falling from the ceiling. So it wasn't actually the gun. So it's a slight clickbait during for the title, which is perfectly fine. It got me because I thought he shot some kids. Like, oh, yeah, I should probably be talking about this a little bit more. All right, instead of just having one article about this, you'll think it'd be all around the fucking news. Everybody be going crazy over it, but no, no kids are actually hit by a bullet from the little bit that I read from the article. Oh my god, are you fucking serious, dude? It was. I'm gonna save the picture. Right? And then I'm gonna have it like probably on a Facebook page, on my Facebook page, or maybe the picture for this episode if you're listening to it on SoundCloud, right? It's the quote unquote one of the injuries from the accident, right? Like, it's because of the situation, all injuries is important and whatnot. But Jesus Christ, dude, how little this shit is hilarious. It's like a little dot, like you could have made a hickey that was bigger than this. Like, basically, like if you walking on the sidewalk and somebody cutting their grass and a little rock from the lawnmower hits you. That's how big the fucking little the accident is on this person's neck. Jesus Christ, dude. Continuing. I'm sorry. One of the parents of the injured 17-year-old told NBC that the teacher had told the class that he was going to use the gun for a demonstration about how to disarm someone, and was checking was the weapon loaded. So what you got to do is you aim it at the sky, and then you hit this little button. You don't like take the fucking clip out and remove the bullet that's in the chamber. No, you just fucking click it a few times, see what happens, right? And he must have forgot it was a semi-automatic, because he must have shot it the first time, and then his instincts, like his fucking hand clenched up, shot it a few more times. So Jesus Christ, dude. And in a time like this, I don't know. You shouldn't be teaching kids how to disarm someone with a gun. You should most likely try, like especially with these school shootings, you should be trying to teach them how to identify. I think you should be teaching them how to identify someone who's a danger to the system. Like, let me see what I'm trying to say. Like, okay, at Walmart, hey, they have us watch this video, right, on deter and all this shit, right? Say if you this is what happens if we have someone who comes into the store with a gun, right? And then go through all these steps on how to identify someone who is acting strange, or who you talk to if you feel like someone's going to endanger you, a friend, or the school itself. I mean, not the school, but the store. You get what I'm trying to say. But basically, went through all these steps, right? It'll say this is how you identify it. If you do, this is how you hide. This is how you lock up doors. Try to stay away from the person. If you can help it, try to stay as far away from them. Of course, they have to add the customers to. Like they told us stuff like just get into our offices and lock the doors and call the police, but don't make yourself be seen, basically. And if the last chance you have to, that's when you defend yourself. If you have no other choice, it basically does tell you do whatever you can to disarm the person. But I don't think it's a good idea to be. I think teaching kids how to disarm someone who has a gun is a good idea, but it's like you have to go really in depth into it. So you have to like have an after school program, especially with these shootings happening. So maybe get some funding, maybe get some fake guns, or some guns that had like salt bullets in it, or one of those salt chambers in it. So if you really have to, why the fuck would he bring a real gun? That's what I don't understand. Why would you bring a real gun to this situation? Fucking Christ, dude. It might have been. They're not really giving me no information. The incident happened during Alexander's administration of justice course. So I guess it's a class or something. Alexander, who also teaches math, so Call of Duty math teacher, is a reserve police officer for the Sand City Police Department and a Seaside councilman. So he already had the gun on him because he's a caller cop. The school district said safety of students is the top priority, and the teacher has been placed on administrative leave during an investigation. It's not much to investigate. Fuck, he fucked up. Why he didn't just he could have just used a taser too, one of the taser guns. Like, this is how you do it. So if it did go off, it would have shocked the ceiling. Like, Jesus fucking Christ, dude. Alexander could not immediately be reached for a comment Wednesday. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Then it goes on some other shit. This article goes into something about 2015. California banned the concealed carry of guns. Banned the concealed carry of guns in colleges and schools. Although gun owners can ask for written permission from authorized school officials. Somebody said police are determining whether Alexander may have violated a city or penal code by bringing a gun onto campus. He might have just pulled that, since I'm technically a cop, I can just kind of do what I want to shit. So he might get in trouble for that as well. So I doubt. Just crazy student injured after teacher accidentally fires handgun. Let me look at this bullshit. Um, yeah. Okay. Was after commercial. I have to look at the fucking commercial about what kind of car is this? No, it's not. It's about insurance, about car insurance. Um, it's the picture that I'm going to show. Right. It's a video about the kid that who got injured. All right, I'm back. I had to pause for a minute because I was looking at the video. I had to pay attention. Um, I might still share the picture of the kid because again, it's still like a very tiny, like nick. Like you could have thumped him in the neck and made a bigger bruise than that. But it's a little red dot on his neck, right? The 17-year-old kid that got hit with one of the splatters, one of the ceiling fallers. It wasn't ceiling. It wasn't a piece of the ceiling. It was actually a bullet fragment. So I guess the bullet broke in pieces when it hit the ceiling, and a tiny piece of it hit his neck, but not so hard to where he noticed it. He didn't notice it until he looked down at his shirt. His words. He said he looked down at his shirt, saw a little bit of blood on the shirt, and went to the hospital because he saw a little bit of blood on his neck. He's fine. It's not even a Band-Aid over the damn thing. That's how little the damn thing was. But still, it was a bullet fragment, so it's a tiny bit more serious than ceiling, pieces of the ceiling falling. I see. What I thought was, this is like, styrofoam ceiling squares that they have in schools, in most schools, right? So I'm thinking it might have been like one of the metal pieces, or maybe one of those hardened ass styrofoam pieces that fell down, hit him in the neck or something, and bruised him. That's what I thought. That's what it made it seem like. But I watched the video and they said it was a piece of a bullet, and they actually showed the picture of the tiny bullet fragment. So that's crazy. And they interviewed the dad and stuff like that. Of course, no one's fucking TV ready. So he's like, "Oh man, this is crazy." He just kept saying, "Oh, fucking teacher in the school. Oh man, this is crazy." And then my son called me. He was like, "Oh, they shot me." He was like, "Oh man, that's crazy." He kept saying the shit. But then they came back to him and he said something kind of smart. He was like, cause they was bringing up the fact that, oh, of course this happens around the time that we're having conversations about arming teachers to try to fight against school shootings and stuff like that. And he was like, "Oh well, this is kind of scary because the teacher who shot off the gun was a police officer. Like I said earlier, he's a police officer for about 10 years. They said so. He's a professional, and he fucked up. He fucked up and hurt a child with a gun in his possession. So they can just imagine putting regular ass kindergarten teacher, Miss Marianne. You can just imagine what kind of consequences that. Jeez, I can't fucking talk. Now I sound like the damn dad. Basically, he was comparing like, oh, he's a professional and giving regular ass teachers is not a good idea as they thought it would be. So again, like I said earlier, man, all we need is just more security. You just got to bump up the budget a little bit. You have to spend money to make money. In this case, you won't be making any money, but at least no kids will die, probably. So, and get some more after school programs, man. Make some of these kids some friends. That's all you need to do. Shit. It be these old antisocial ass kids that be fucking people up. Antisocial is a joke that a lot of them are virgins. That's kind of the case too. Motherfuckers go crazy. Fucking. But anyway, welcome to the Whomst podcast. Let's do a cold open about an article because I didn't want to do the whole fucking intro and then just. Oh shit! It's 16 minutes. God damn. Fucking hey, it's gonna be a longer episode than I thought. The Whomst. Welcome to the Whomst podcast. I'm your host George Collins. You've never listened to this show before. It's basically me local Montgomery, Alabama comedian, just kind of shooting the shit for about 20 minutes. Usually I stop at 20 minutes, but it might end up going a little bit longer because I didn't realize I was going to take that damn long talking about that article. Fuck. Okay, let's just go into one article into the next fucked up article. I'm pretty sure you've seen this all around Facebook. I'm gonna actually post all the 2 or 3 articles that I talk about. I'm gonna put it in the description. You can read along or share it to your friends. This next fucked up one, again, I'm pretty sure you heard about it. Oklahoma mom, 45 years old, who married daughter 26 after two hit it off and gets 2 years in prison. See, I kind of learned something today because it's more like it's just me being a comic and not really paying attention to life. It's besides myself. I didn't know because she went to prison for 2 years. It don't say why in the title, but when you read up on it, it say she went 2 years in prison after pleading guilty to incest. So I didn't know you can actually get prison time for incest. I just thought the shit was nasty. I thought it was just frowned upon. You know, it was like, oh, you're fucking your son. That's not cool. That's like how much people joke about it in Alabama. They're like, oh, you're fucking your cousin. Like nobody ever said like, oh yeah, that's also very illegal. See, because the daughter technically is of age, so I honestly would never thought it was guilty. I just thought it would have been just nasty and frowned upon and shit. So, okay, phone, I get it. Jesus Christ. Same time as the open mic, whatever. Patricia Anspan, 45 years old, of No Man, Oklahoma, pleading guilty to the felony offense and admitted she married her biological daughter, 26-year-old Misty Violet Dawn Span. That's her name. Misty Violet Dawn Span. She must also register as a sex offender after her release from prison, the Oklahoma man reported. Span accepted a plea deal, was also sentenced to 8 years on probation and fined $1,500. The Deacon Police Department was informed of the incest marriage by an employee with the state's Department of Human Services. The employee found out about the marriage during a child welfare investigation. So, fucking man. The mother and the daughter wed back in March 2006 after they reunited in 2014. Patricia, this is the kicker. Patricia had lost custody of Misty years before, but the two hit it off after reuniting back in 2014. Then what she say is, I thought it was okay because I lost custody of her years ago. So and I guess her name isn't on the birth certificate anymore, which I didn't know you could take the mom off the birth certificate. I guess, but that's what she said. That was her defense. She's like, oh, I thought it was okay since technically on paper I'm not their mom. So then this was, what's fucked up. This isn't even her first time. This isn't even her first time or her only child. She did it. She has, I don't know how many sons she has, but Span, the 46-year-old, the mom, married her son back in 2008, and it got all nulled. It got nulled and void back in 2010 due to incest. So I'm surprised she didn't go to prison then either. But I guess it's not as serious now. I don't know. They don't say how old the son was back then, but this is her first fucking time. So how was it? Did she? Man, I pleaded guilty. Yeah, it don't say that she went to prison then, because if she went to prison for incest then, you wouldn't you think you get a little bit longer than 2 years? But fucking Christ, but it's still kind of confusing. I had to look it up. Because if they're of age, why would the whole incest thing even matter anymore? I don't know. Fuck. I'm not trying to like defend her or some shit like that. Like, I might just edit all that shit out. I'm not. This shit just crazy though. It's like both kids, man. God damn, it's like keep it with the family. Oklahoma? What the fuck? I thought all the jokes was like more. Jesus Christ, dude. All Alabama and Louisiana and shit, but Jesus Christ. They. Cause okay, if you go to the article again, I'm having it in the description. It'll have the picture of both the mom and the daughter, right? So I'm thinking, oh, did they arrest the daughter too? But they don't say. They don't really go into detail about the daughter. Again, her name is Misty Violet something or whatever, Span. It'll say it got their marriage, the daughter and the mom got annulled back in October back in 2017 after a judge decided the mother had induced her daughter by fraud to enter the marriage. So, what was she trying to gain by? So she was actually trying to marry him and trying to gain something from it, which I don't know what she. Again, there's no details about what the hell she's trying to get from this. It's like, I mean, can't you still like put them down as like dependents? So it's not like a tax thing, I don't think, right? Like, I think I'm pretty like, okay, I know now that I'm engaged and stuff like that. If the wife or whatever wife or husband doesn't work, one of them does, they can be put down as a dependent, and you get paid for that. But I guess that's the case in this part. So the mom might have such a terrible record that she might not be able to work, and she like collecting welfare, and that's what got her caught up. Maybe the daughter is working, probably, most likely not, and they just kind of like working. They just kind of just like each other. They're fucking the system to the point where they're like able to live, probably stealing from Walmart because they kind of look like it. Fucking couponing and stealing from Walmart. That's all they doing. Episodes like this kind of make me feel like I'm slowly becoming like a shitty version of the Philip DeFranco show on YouTube. Just reading articles, giving my slight opinion on it. Most likely not that not that much of a difference than what other people think. But I got one more. Oklahoma DA officer released a video of bail officer fatally shooting client. Bail bondman who shot and killed client found not guilty at first. Apparently, at first she was counted out. Okay, I just watched the video. I watched the video and I kind of read the article, so you got to hear my atrocious ass reading out loud. Basically, I have to get her name again. I think her name Christy. Yeah, Christy Carey, 42 years old, was found out guilty on Friday in the August 9th death of 39-year-old client Brandon James Williams. And I watched the video. She got I think it's her son in one of the cheers, and she has Brandon comes in, big country ass dude, come in, talking about they start chit chatting, talking about the Charger or her Challenger or something talking about that or something like that, talking to the son and all that. Everything seems good, everything seems fine, but I guess whatever she brought him in for, she knew at the end of the conversation she was gonna have to like arrest him. So, one, why would you have your son there in that type of situation? Because the son wasn't like much of anything. The son was like a quarter of the size of Brandon. So if he wanted to do anything, he couldn't do anything to Brandon anyway. So I don't understand why he didn't have like an officer on standby or something, like shoot them a text or something, and they'll like swing by and help you out. And especially in that type of situation. But she tried to like play it off and shit. She stood up, closed the door, and asked him to get on the wall, and it started going downhill from the moment she asked him to turn around so she can put handcuffs on him. And she tried to play it off like, no, I like having conversations with handcuffs on, like something like that, right? So he's like, hell no, I ain't getting in no cuffs, I ain't getting no fucking cuffs, right? So it's it's two doors, and I guess it's a window off camera, right? And it's only the one door that's to an exit, the one that she closed, because the other one was open. So I don't know why you didn't. Anyway, the one was closed. I guess was the only door exit, and I guess it was a window, which I later found out was 3 stories high. So he was trying to get the fuck out of there. He went straight for the window. He was like, "No, you ain't putting no goddamn cuffs on me." He put his shoe on because he took his shoe off. He was picking at his feet. It was weird. He put his shoe on, and he like, now I guess he grabs his keys or whatever off the desk. He like, I'm not putting no handcuffs on. He was about to leave, like, out the window that you can't see on the camera. And her words is, I shot his ass because, well, she didn't say shot his ass, but she shot him because she feared for her life. She feared for her life. She felt like Brandon was going for the gun that she had in her office desk, and she felt like he was going to grab that and kill both her and her son. Which, again, why would you bring your son to a job like that, especially with this type of situation? Again, it's like, just people not really thinking, like, dude, like, do you not have an officer in the office in the other room, or do you not have somebody on speed dial like could come help you out besides you're like, he looked like maybe 17 years old? Because okay, let me just finish the story. Brandon is like, they ain't putting no goddamn cuffs on me, and he walks behind her desk towards a window that you can't see, and I guess he starts climbing out of it. She follows him for a minute and opens up her office drawer, and pulls out a gun, immediately shoots him. Like, you don't see his hands like trying to fight her for the gun, nothing. It's like when you about to sneeze, you get some tissue. In that, like, in that motion, grab a tissue, put it over your nose, like that fucking quick. Drew, and fucking shoots the shit out of him right one time, and he's like, fuck, because she shot him as he was climbing out the window. So he shot him in the lower back and then exited out of his chest. So he might have died like instantly. Like, even if he did live, he might have just been paralyzed. But yeah, she testified she shot Williams in self-defense, and she and her son attempted to take Williams back into custody. It's true. I guess not the self-defense part, because he didn't really do shit besides try to get away from you. Like, she told jurors she was afraid Williams was going to shoot her and the son, that she tried to grab it, and that he tried to grab her gun before fleeing out the office window. Again, you don't see that dude doing anything. Like, once he goes off camera, he's off camera, and the drawer where the gun is, like, it's in plain view. Like, the only person that knows it's there is probably her son and her. So the only thing he tried to do was get away. That's about it. He didn't put hands on her or nothing. He had his hands up in the air and just kind of like tried to go straight for the window. I think at that point, as a bailsman or a PO or whatever, if the dude try to get away, just let the motherfucker go. All right, you know where the nigga live, so just call the police and just handle it from there. Even if it is your job to do it, just don't. He didn't have a weapon or nothing. Just fucking. You giving guns to, again, just like the article from earlier, giving the professional the gun and he fucking up. Like, you got another professional. Like, why would we give guns to normal ass people who in theory aren't as tested as officers, you know? But then our officers fuck up like this. And it's not even a race thing either. It's a big ass country white dude that got killed. Then the funny thing, which is not really funny, but she tells the jury, I felt like we were going to be killed. I've never been so scared in my life. If you watch the video, how fluent she grabbed the gun and killed him, how fluent that action was, and how she reacted to it, the only person that had emotion in that room was the son, because he damn near cried after she shot him. She shot him and was like, yeah, I shot him. Call the police. She stone cold killer, man. That's basically what I'm trying to say. Unfortunately, she's a gangster in this case. She might as well shave her head and put a barcode on the back of her head, because she killed that man like she was Agent 47. Man, god damn. And what's messed up, that wasn't the camera that caught all the video, was like the son's GoPro. And I guess they set it up because, just in case he do something, right? And when she shot him, the son was like, dude, you just shot him. It was like, why? Like in like a concerned type of way. She was like, yeah, I did. And called the police. I'm like, god damn, she fucking stone cold killer. But hey, some stuff pulled up, some stuff came up. I gotta pull this episode pretty short. If y'all like this style of episode, let me know, and I'll start doing it more often. Maybe put some effort into it, maybe. So just let me know. Follow me on Twitter, Broken Notepads, and Instagram, Cousin Broken. If you want to help with the show, want to support it financially, go to patreon.com/the Whomst, WHOMST. So I'll see you next time.